A 16-year-old Wonderkid striker that can be picked up for only a few £1,000,000 who has the potential to be one of the best players in the world. That sounds pretty good, right? Well, stick with us in this video and I'll show you exactly how to take this promising youngster into a world-class superstar. That's right, you guys tend to love it when we show you Wonderkid strikers, and we have a gem for you today who, as mentioned, doesn't come like the cheapest in the world. He's not 500k or £1,000,000. He'll probably be 3 or 4 million, maybe 2 million in your saves, depending on how good he is and depending how he develops at his club, of course. But for this bargain price, you will definitely get what you originally invested into the player, because he starts off with great attributes, with a lot of potential to grow, and like I say, with the right development, can really become one of the ultimate forwards in world football. You will see we are here with Marseille in the French divisions. Now, I have got the French divisions loaded here, but I would imagine if you have a fairly large database, this player should be in it anyway. If not, try loading the French divisions. It's a good league to have loaded anyway when it comes to new gen players developing. So yes, Marseille is the club we're going to in the French leagues. We're going to all players, and you will see amongst a bunch of very talented players, I am sure, there is a 16-year-old Wonderkid by the name of Enzo Sternau. He is number 48 for Marseille, a future prospect, and in this save is valued at about £5 million, but this is him on the maximum end of his potential range. We've used the editor to set it to that, which is 170. This man has a potential range of 140 to 170. On the lower end of that range, you are getting a good Premier League level forward, and on the higher end of that range, you are going to get one of the world's best strikers. That's providing he gets the right development though, which of course he needs, but at the age of 16, he doesn't necessarily need game time until he's 18, so just let him develop for a little bit, scout him. He is counted as being fresh at Marseille, so you can't sign him straight away. He's only got a contract until 2026, so you should see that value begin to drop fairly quickly, but let's talk about how he starts off. He's a 5'7" forward who's right-footed, and advanced forward is his preferable role. He's got some decent acceleration, some good pace, technique, very good mental attributes in some areas including flair, good dribbling, finishing and first touch. He is not world class yet, he is not going to be world class for a couple of years, but when it comes to what you'd want from an advanced forward, Sternau has got everything you need to build up from. So with that being said, let's move him over to Real Madrid and I'll show you how we're going to set him up to develop in the best way possible. So the first thing is the tactic. Now, we're not doing anything crazy with Sternau here. He is in a very basic 4-2-3-1 gegenpress. We've used the editor to bring him over. Now, of course, I will put it out there, he is not good enough to start for Real Madrid straight away, nor is he even good enough to start for Marseille straight away. He's a 16-year-old striker and he's going to need some time to develop, but for the sake of the simulation, we're going to play him from minute 1 in this save. For you guys, give him a couple of years to develop. Once he's 18, then start to give him game time, whether that's for you or whether you loan him out. Now, like I say, it's a very basic tactic, nothing too special going on, but he is being mentored by some of the more experienced players at the club, like Modric, Nacho Fernandez, Dani Carvajal, if I can remember correctly. So yes, he's got some great minds to build up from, which will hopefully help his determination and his personality, which is already in a good place at being fairly determined. Now, when it comes to his training, this is the most important part, of course. Now, we are going to focus in on the role that he's playing, which is advanced forward. I suggest you guys do the same. If it's a different role, make sure that is selected. Don't just have it as striker playing position. You'll get much better growth by focusing in on a specific role that you want him to play. Then we get to the additional focus. Now, as you guys know, one of my favorites is final third, which will work on his decision making and his composure. But for Sternau, he's already got that at a decent level, and I feel like with some growth in game time, we'll see that increase anyway. Now, the same thing applies to the attributes that I suggest you guys improve, which for Sternau is quickness. Now, the reason I suggest you guys go for that over final third is if you can get his pace and acceleration up, which is already in a good place. Between the ages of 16 to 18, you're going to see a lot of physical growth. Now, if we focus that in on his speed, you are going to get a player that in the in-game engine is going to be very hard for defenders to manage. Now, pace in FM this year is very important. You could argue you could work on his strength, his jumping reach and his heading, 3 weak parts of his game, but I feel like we can avoid that and focus in purely on the acceleration. Like I say, that is already being focused on by the role that he's playing, as you can see from the highlighted attributes, but to focus in more on that quickness could make him very powerful in the in-game engine. So for you guys, I would suggest that. For us though, as we do in all of these simulations, we're going to leave the additional focus blank and keep it the same for every player that we test. With that being said, Enzo is ready to go. He's in the Real Madrid team, so let's see how he looks in a few years' time on the lowest end of that potential range. So this is kind of the worst possible scenario. How good can he look? And the answer is he can look very good. It's 2026 here, 3 years have passed with Sternal, and he is now a beast up front with pace, acceleration at high levels, good agility, balance, and even his strength has gone up to a good level as well now. Mentally, he is very well balanced with off the ball work rate, vision, anticipation, composure. He has got the mental attributes of the highest level already, with 1 goal in 2 caps for the under-21 French national team. He can also pass well with good technique, but he has that holy trinity now, dribbling, finishing, and first touch, all at a level of 15, making him a very, very talented striker. He's valued at 80 million. Remember, the most you'll pay for him is about 5 or 6 million in the worst case scenario, and he is definitely worth the initial investment. He is an absolute gem, and even if you didn't give him game time straight away, if you started only giving him time at say 18 years of age, I still think you'd see this kind of player by the age of 20 or 21. Now currently he's sitting at about 143 current ability, towards that lower end of the 140 to 170 potential range that he's had, and when it comes to the in-game performances, he's scoring pretty much a goal every game and a half or so, with his best season being 28 in 38 games, with 75 goals in 111 appearances. He is already looking like a very good striker, but of course this is him at his worst, so let's see him at his best. And as we go to check out Prime Enzo Sternal, I'd like to ask you guys to do me a massive favour, if you could, once this video is done, head to the description and come check out my channel that you'll find linked down below, because we are very, very close to 30,000 subscribers. We're pushing heavily for it, so any support towards that goal would be amazing. We do Football Manager rebuilds over there, as well as YouTube shorts about Wonderkids you might not have heard of, so if you want to be an absolute legend, I'd really appreciate it if you do check out my channel. But let's check out Enzo Sternal at his max. And here he is as an absolute beast of a forward at the age of 24, with 15 acceleration, 17 agility, 17 pace, and 13 strength, combined with good balance and stamina. Physically, he is an absolute tank. Combine that with amazing work rate, 18 off the ball, 16 flair, decision making of the highest level, composure, the vision, passing, and technique is there as well, so he can create chances if needed. He's got 13 head-in, 14 long shots, which are just bonuses on top of how good he already is. And then when it comes to the dribbling, finishing, and first touch, he has got that at an amazing level, making him an unbelievable striker. Now valued at £100 million, he is definitely worth that investment of about 5 mil. In the in-game engine, he's tearing it up as well, with 226 league goals in 296 matches, nearly a goal a game. He's getting great average match ratings now and contributing to a bunch of assists as well. One season he hit 37 goals in 37 appearances. He looks like an insane forward, and for the price, he's definitely worth getting. But let's see him at the end of his career. And at the age of 34, he is now a free agent. I don't know why, because he's still got great attributes in every single area, even for a 34-year-old. He got 37 goals in 60 caps for France, which would have been playing international matches at the highest level. And if we have a look at his career stats, he did go to Al Nassr for a little bit out in Saudi Arabia, and that just proves we weren't doing a crazy tactic, because even over there, he's scoring pretty much a goal a game with some insane average match ratings. There's one season for Real as well, where he got 45 goals in 38 appearances, and purely in the league, this man has scored 537 in 658 games, making him an unbelievable striker, one of the best of all time. We could call him the next Mbappe, the next Henry, any kind of great French striker. He can also boast that he won 1 Ballon d'Or in the 2035-36 season with 66 goals in 61 appearances, beating out his rival's best player, Lamine Yamal of Barcelona. So Sternal is an absolute animal, someone that you should all check out in your saves. I think he's a great player for a great fee who should be in most of your databases. Thank you guys for watching. Like the video if you did enjoy, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.